Good day, everybody out there in Jailbird Earl land. And I apologize. I get a video out earlier, but my cameraman went on strike. He said, I'm not going to make any more videos unless I get some candy bars. You know what I told him? No candy bars for you. You're going to be making these movies. And he said, okay, I'll do it, sir. And that's why it took so long. Negotiations can be a pain in the butt. Anyways, you're probably wondering, why should I listen to this guy rambling about how his cameraman went on strike and who's never done any wrestling? I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. One, I've been watching wrestling for almost 40 years. And second, I flip tables. And when you flip tables, you know that person has to be serious. Alright, so let's talk about, going to do a little bit of something different. To make this video a little shorter, more concise. I'm going to give like one highlight, one low light, one thing I like, one best match, and stuff like that. So this is going to be hopefully 5 minutes of your greatest life. Alright, let's go with the highlight of the week this week was Bayley turning heel. That was great, unexpected, even though she's been talking about going heel for the last 2 years and that if she should, she shouldn't. But she turned heel, she took that metal chair from Sasha Banks, and she started to pound poor little Becky in the back with it. Greatest thing this month. Well, this week. Alright. So, and then the next night, Sasha Banks and Bayley, they turn on Charlotte, and they start beating Charlotte as well. So you know what's coming up. Sometime in the future, we're going to have those two clashing each other. I believe Hell in a Cell's coming up. Maybe they'll go into a cage match or something. Anyways, the reasons why Bayley turned heel was because she wanted to show the little girls or people out there that you should always be faithful to your friends. So since Sasha turned bad and attacked Becky, she wanted to support her friend Sasha, which is a very important thing for girls because, as you know, if you're in school, you have 2 girls, they're best of friends on a Friday. Come to Monday, they absolutely hate each other and calling each other names and speaking behind each other's back. So good for Bayley to show what a true friend is. Yo! Good old hacksaw Jim Duggan. I don't have my tuba for though. Alright, so the low light, I really liked about everything this week. But the low light for me was, and it's not this week, but for a long time, is WWE muting their Japanese wrestlers. Have you noticed this? They all either have a manager or they don't speak at all. So, for example, with Kairi Sane and Asuka, they have, what's her name, Paige as their manager. I thought at first this would be a good thing, but seeing Paige's managerial work, not very good. She's not a very good speaker. You know, the manager, she's not doing a very good job of putting over Kabuki Warriors on their promos. If they weren't such good wrestlers, they probably wouldn't be over at all. I think they need to nix the Paige as their manager. Let these 2 ladies do their own monologue. They both can speak English pretty good. And, you know, let them speak Japanese. I love it when Asuka's in the ring and she starts yelling at the other people in Japanese. It's great. So I would probably niche old Paige as manager. Or at least tell her to be more animated, get these ladies over. And then we go over to the NXT side, and you got Io Shirai. I'm happy that Io Shirai is in with a rivalry with Candice LeRae, because Candice LeRae and Io Shirai are one of the 2 best wrestlers in the world. They're doing great ring work. And then, but last week, all we saw was Io Shirai taking a cane and smacking Candice LeRae in the back. And supposedly, Io Shirai is very good at English, so why don't you let them talk? I don't understand. The more they talk, the better they can get. Right. And then you got Nakamura, Sami Zayn, and Nakamura refuses to talk, which I kind of like the angle. I kind of like it. I guess it goes pretty good with what they're going good. Sami Zayn is very good speaker. He can do very good promos. But considering they're doing this to all their Japanese wrestlers, it kind of makes it bad. If they only done it to one, let's say this Stick with the Nakamura Sami Zayn storyline with those two together. With Nakamura refusing to speak to anybody, just let Sami Zayn speak it. That would be great, really great. And then you could kind of have like Nakamura, as he's too good to speak in the English tongue. You know, you're only worth speaking in Japanese or something like that. That would be a great storyline right there. All right, so let's go for highlights, honorable mentions. The Firefly Funhouse. I liked it. It was very funny. My part I liked about it best was when he started feeding the Vince McMahon's puppet money in his mouth. I thought that was hilarious. And then you had the little doll, little puppet, have a sign saying, "Help me!" That was great. It's always great for Firefly. If I could get my 2 cents on this, there's rumors that they want him to be the champion. I do not want the Fiend to be the heavyweight champion. I think that'd be a waste of the character. I like how they're doing it now, where he's surprise tagging people. You know, you see him once every couple of weeks. I think that's perfect. Being the champion, it's overexposure. I think that would ruin the character. My other highlight is AJ Styles' promo. I love it because he's making fun of the writing team, saying, you know, when you talk about how you get a championship title match these days, is you stare at a belt. Talking about Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins. And then he talks about, what was the other one? Oh, about Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler winning the belt. You know, they just come together at once and they win. They get a chance for the tag team belts. I mean, that's what are you doing to the tag team championships? I'm gonna make a video about that some other time about what I think of the tag teams are going, tag team wrestling's going in WWE, and it's not looking very good. And I love how he threatened Michael Cole. It was great. Put him in his place. So that's the highlight. That's the highlights. Honorable mentions. Not to mention Velvet Dreams sofa catching on fire by Roderick Strong, burning Velvet Dreams couch. If you don't watch NXT, it's a shame on you. It was great because the couch means a lot to Velvet Dream. Going on to the best matches. The best matches for me this week was Elias versus Ali. It was very great. What I liked about it was Ali was able to sell that his knee was hurting him, and it would look very smooth in the ring. They still had their high spots. It was really good. Elias got the victory, which shocked me. I'll tell you, I was expecting Ali to win, but I liked it. I liked it very much. The worst match of the week to me was Ricochet versus Samoa Joe. Now you're probably saying, "What do you mean that was the worst match? That was great. There were so many highlights in that match." What I mean is the same thing that happened to Ali happened to Ricochet. Samoa Joe was working his legs, working his knees, yet Ricochet did not sell the injury. He was still doing all his high-flying moves, even though his knee was supposed to be hurt. And when your knee is supposed to be hurt, you're not supposed to be able to do flips and stuff. So it makes me wonder, is Ricochet a one-trick pony? Is he actually a good wrestler? Can he do other wrestling things, or does he have to be able to do flips, jump off ropes and stuff like that, or can he really do a mat and grind match? You know, to me, if you're going to be a superstar, you should be able to do all kinds of varying matches. So that's my worry about Ricochet. So the hot storyline for me, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is because I don't really like Roman Reigns, but it's the Roman Reigns storyline between him and Rowan and Daniel Bryan. Maybe it's because I'm a big fan of Daniel Bryan. Yes, yes, yes for Daniel Bryan. I think he's going to turn face. Maybe. Or maybe it's all a trick between him and Rowan. And I love the fact that we got to hear Rowan speak. I don't think I've heard him say that many words in the last 5 years. It was great. And it was great seeing Roman Reigns getting dismantled and being beat up. You don't see that very often at all. However, there's a problem. There has to be another person helping Rowan, because if you look at the video, the right-hand side shells fall, and then the left-hand side fall like a second after. So either Rowan is the Flash, or he has to have some kind of help, or there's a big mistake in the storyline right now. I would throw in somebody with Rowan real quick to fix this plot hole, WWE, if you need to know what I mean. And the worst storyline that I don't really care that much is Seth Rollins versus Braun. And you know why? Because, a couple of weeks ago, I was mad that I had to see same wrestlers every night of the week. Now I got to see Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman twice in one night on a pay-per-view? That is crazy. Also, to end this video, I need you guys to say, thank you, Jailbird Earl. Because you know that video I made a couple weeks ago when I said I pulled out my hair and I threw a temper tantrum and I said, this needs to stop. That we need to stop having these same wrestlers every night of the week. Guess what? Since I went off of this temper tantrum, WWE saw it and they stopped doing it. You notice we only get to see one wrestler a week. Apart from the Sasha and Bailey thing. We saw them twice, but everybody else only saw them once. So, all at once, I want you guys to say, thank you, Jailbird Earl. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I don't hear you guys. I'm not hearing you. Good job. Okay. Until next time, sayonara.